Hi all, I just want to give you a bit more instruction and some tips from my perspective on toning images through Photoshop. And you really should try both of the software that's available to you, both the Photoshop and Lightroom. This particular quick video is going to be about using the tools in Photoshop. So I've opened 3 of the practice images, and when I use Photoshop, it's really to primarily work on specific toning types of issues. So with this image here, we can see that it's really pretty yellow. So I know that the first thing that I want to do is adjust that color balance. So I am going to go up to Image and Adjust and go to Levels. Now I usually do that with the quick keys, Command L, so that comes right up. And this is one of my favorite areas to adjust because I love the eyedroppers and I think they work really well. And you can see here you've got black, gray, and white. That's how these are broken down. And if you look at their tips, that's where you can find out which one is which. Now, even though I'm not the photographer for this, I know that this plate is probably going to be white. So I'm going to take that white eyedropper, click on it, and voila, instantly we've got a really good change in terms of the overall color balance. And really, at this stage, it's not a great photo. There's not really a whole lot that I want to do. It's just a sample exercise photo, and I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. There's not too much more that really needs to be done in regards to this image, except that you need to file it and rename it and save it and turn it in properly. The next image is this barn shot, kind of hard to tell when this was shot exactly. It could be very late at night or it could be early morning, but the point of it is obviously the moon being full here and the lovely foreground. So the first thing that I am going to do in regards to this, because it bothers me so much, is change this horizon line, which we're obviously kind of going down the hill here. It's not straight. So I'm grabbing my crop tool and I'm going to start by outlining the frame. And when I'm going to need to change the horizon line a little bit and adjust, I always want to leave a little bit of space around the frame so I have room to tilt into the direction I'm trying to overcome. So you'll see down at the bottom of the frame on the right hand side, when I do that, I have a couple different options for arrows, and one is the kind of curved angle of the arrows, and that tells me that now I can kind of adjust which way I need to go with the image. Now I know that I probably want to go with the tilt to start to begin to correct that, and if we look at this grid, which I love, we can start to see that that's happening. So I've made that adjustment. I'm going to let go and hit return to see what actually happened. Did I help myself at all? And I did a little bit. Now this is probably shot on a wide angle. I'm still not particularly thrilled with the kind of crookedness of it, but a lot of that is the reality of the image in that it is being shot on the hill. So I'm going to just correct a little bit more. And you can see that I made it worse with that, right? Because I went opposite. So I'm going to go with the original crop. Now I know that this is pretty darn dark, and so I'm going to go to my levels, and I usually like to just see what auto does, and so I'll hit auto first, and I see that that's not exactly what I want to happen, but it's a good starting point, and maybe I can adjust from there. So I'm going to start to take down a little bit of these darker parts of the image right here on the left side, a little bit into the middle, but there's not a whole lot I want to change here. It is a little flat, and if I wanted to really spend a lot of time on this, I could adjust some of the color and the saturation. But in terms of the exercise, what I've done is straighten the horizon line and adjust the exposure a little bit through levels. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Now the last image that I want to look at is my favorite of all of the collection of images we have here for practicing on, because it really is a very interesting image with a lot of different layers. We have a guy in the barber shop looking at the guy outside. We have a photograph of someone in a portrait looking at us. Quite a bit going on, but we can tell overall this really has a lot of yellow in it. So I'm going to go to my levels, again Command L. I'm going to go to my eyedropper, and I really don't see anything particularly that jumps out to me as being white. Now if I choose this white, it's probably going to be, I'm going to guess, I'm going to go on the white eyedropper, and if I hit this, it's probably going to be too much. Or nothing at all, no adjustment at all, because there's not really any information in that area of whites. So I'm going to choose the gray eyedropper, and I'm going to guess that the backs of these seats here are probably pretty close to being a gray of some nature. So I'm going to go ahead and click there. And that really improved it. Overall, I really don't like my images to be too yellow. I think our inclination as humans is not to necessarily like images being too yellow. But what has happened is I've got a little magenta in here, right? But it's overall better. I'm going to lighten this a little bit here, and I'm also going to open up this contrast a little bit. And I like what that's doing. So I've reached in here into the midtones and a little bit into the highlights. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK now. Now I've mentioned that it's a little bit magenta, and it's not a big deal, but it's something I personally notice. So I'm going to go up to Image, Adjustments, and I am going to go to Color Balance. Now when this menu comes up, you'll see all different kinds of options here. Now I've said that it's a little bit magenta, so going to the magenta line here, I'm just going to put in just a smidgen of green to balance it out and making sure that it's not turning too yellow. For me, this is looking good. I'm going to hit OK. Now, one thing that you could do to enhance the image is maybe dodge a little bit where this gentleman is here to make sure we're really seeing that person. Overall, I like the subtlety of it, but just for the sake of this exercise, I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to go over here on my left hand side and look for this kind of lollipop looking thing. And if I right click, I'll see I have a couple different options, a dodge and a burn tool. Now what a dodge does is lightens, and what a burning something in, darkening, think of ash going darker, adds more time. But I want to just lighten him a little bit just because of really the exercise. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and you can see I have a little circle here. Now I'm hitting the brackets to increase the size of this, and if I do that, I'm probably going to overkill it because it's taking up too much space. And what I'm also looking at the top here is my shadows, my midtones, and my highlights. I'm just going to pick midtone because it's not too much in shadow. I'm going to lighten it a little bit with the 20%, and I can always go back and do more, but we don't want to do too much. So I'm going to reduce the size of my little brush and click a little bit, and you can see I'm just barely lightening him up a little bit so that he's a bit brighter and we can see his eyes more. Now that's the subtlety of fine toning and post-production. There's a lot you can do, and it's really fun to play around with the different options. Again, really thinking about your color balance and your cropping are your first steps in adjusting your images, and you can see how to do that by playing around with all the different tools. Again, this is strictly based in Photoshop, but you can do all the same things in Lightroom.